Missing Girl Scout. Can you help us? Take a listen.
The girl is missing, and her father is supposed to head off to Iraq in the coming weeks.
My name's Scott Baum. I'm Lindsey's father. What I'm here today to do is to appeal to everybody out there watching. Please bring my daughter home.
Here's what detectives have to work with. 10-year-old Lindsey Baum was last seen walking home from a friend's house. She was supposed to walk about 5 blocks to get home. She never made it.
And so far, detectives haven't figured it out. The FBI hasn't figured it out.
After this weekend, stopping every car. They want anybody who saw maybe something that didn't even look suspicious to them to contact law enforcement.
Despite a massive search effort in and around McCleary, there's no sign of the girl anywhere.
For my daughter, I want her to know that I love her more than anything in the world and that I'm not giving up on her.
Following days of searches and interviews, investigators say the few leads they had have mostly dried up. Lindsey's family is asking and hoping for help.
And if somebody does have her, I wish they would just drop her off somewhere where she can get to a payphone and call 911 or call home so that we can come and get her.
The family now desperate as the leads are drying up to find this little 11-year-old girl, Lindsey Baum. Her father set to be deployed back to Iraq with his little girl still missing. Out to our producer on the story, Stacey Newman. Stacey, what's the latest?
Well, as of this week, Nancy, investigators have been recanvassing outlying areas of this town using search dogs, just trying to come up with any leads to find this little 11-year-old girl who simply just vanished into thin air.
Take me back, Stacey. In a nutshell, how did she go missing?
Here's what happened. Little 11-year-old Lindsey Baum headed to a friend's home for a usual play date. After a couple hours there at the friend's house, the friend's parents told Lindsey, "Please return to your house," because it was getting dark that night. Lindsey walked home just a short 6 blocks, and then, out of nowhere, at about 9:15, she simply seemed to just vanish into thin air. For about an hour, Lindsey's mom, couple friends, searched desperately for the little girl. Her cell phone still at home on the charger. Absolutely no sign of the little girl. Then she was reported missing.
Joining me right now, a very special guest, Melissa Baum, Lindsey's mother. Ms. Baum, thank you for being with us. Could you tell us?
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. What is the latest in the search for your little girl?
Right now, they're still just following up on tips. They still are getting tips in, from my understanding, and they're following up. But at this point, we don't know of anything new. Nothing's come up new.
Ms. Baum, a neighbor saw her on her way home and can verify that she was, in fact, alive at that time on the way home. Do you know this neighbor? Are you sure they saw Lindsey Baum?
I know of one.
Yes.
And yes, she's actually someone I work with, so she does know Lindsey quite well.
So about what time was that, Melissa? What time did the neighbor spot her?
The neighbor saw her about 9:15.
And out to Ian Cope, News Director, KXRO. Ian, I was a little surprised, 9:15, somebody walking around at this young age, 11, but it was still daylight, wasn't it?
Yeah, 9:30 in the evening out here is still daylight in late June, and it was still relatively bright outside at the time that she went missing.
To Mark Class, founder of Class Kids Foundation and crime victim after the death of his little girl, Polly. Mark, what do you do when police say the leads are drying up?
Well, you know, this is an extremely small community. It's off the beaten track. I think you go from the point that she was last seen, and then you start checking with every neighbor between that point and the girl's home. And I believe that the answer to this particular situation probably lies somewhere within there. Otherwise, if you're the mom, what you have to do is you have to do everything you can to keep this as high profile as you can. You have to continue to work with the authorities to try to get the answer until you find the answer.
Everyone, take a look at 11-year-old Girl Scout Lindsey Baum. Here's the tip line. There is a reward. 866-915-8299. $6,000 is being offered by National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and Crime Stoppers. Please help us find Lindsey Baum.